So we welcome you back here at the Lasseter's playing field. Good afternoon to all, or good evening, or good night, wherever you are following us from. Again, it's a different condition, pretty cloudy, overcast. But the good news is that the wicket is in good condition, and certainly the outfield continue to look well. So we just about to start the second game for the day. And we, again, just a shortened version, just 9 overs side. And this is due to the inclement weather we had for most of the day. But we are happy to get another game off. As we see the Clove challengers now taking the field. Good afternoon, Stevenson.
Good afternoon, Raphael. Our first match this morning played in rather dull, gloomy, overcast condition. And it's a bit brighter now. We had a bit of light showers, but it certainly lightened up quite a bit. We're going to give you the lineup for the Nutmeg Warriors. Nutmeg Warriors team will give you the lineup. Andrew Fletcher, Daniel McDonald, Javon Andrew, John Olive, Josh Thomas, Enoch Toussaint, Kellis Andrew, Therese Francis, Michael Henry, Chris Alexander, Kyle Ramdu, Nyron Belfon, and Dijon Charles. So that's the lineup for the Nutmeg Warriors.
Clove challengers, Roland Keto, Captain Darren Ned, Haston Jackson, Amikel Dubisset, Javed Hazard, Kurt Murray, Samuel Charles, Nicholas Redhead, Darren Hippolyte, Richard Rogers, and Sheldon Joseph.
This should be a very good match today. The Nutmeg Warriors against the Clove challengers. And just a 1 over taken off from the original duration. So that shouldn't in any way do anything untoward. And here is going to be the first ball. Let's get ready.
Yeah, and as you said, it's a big game. These are the two teams that is on top, Clove challengers and Nutmeg Warriors, and certainly one is going to go in front after this particular game. So really, there's a lot to play for in this game that can be even considered probably like finals. Two of the, in my view, up to this point in time, the best playing team.
Yes, they've played pretty good cricket. And here's an opportunity for two of the better teams of the tournament to face off and square off at each other. And, of course, a victory over either will do a bit of a psychological boost.
Sweet. Amikel Dubisset. Again, as we have been saying, pretty gloomy conditions. No problem with the light, but really it's not the sunny and hot sort of weather that we are used to, which will make it fairly comfortable for the fielders.
Yeah. Charles taking strike.
Again, it's just a bit of movement there to be set, bringing it up and just leaving the left-handed Charles. Charles, who would have played a tremendous in the previous game that he played, got 65. The only Trinidadian that is part of this Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 tournament.
Yeah, it's good to see, of course, other players, foreign players coming in, bringing in their expertise. And a nice mixture, really, so that players from around the region can get to know one another. That augurs well for regional cricket. And also to know the strengths and weaknesses of teams when they come up against each other, as the case may be. So that's very good, really is.
Yeah, and it's so good to see that the players, and they seem to know each other quite well. Ryan, John, and you could see the sort of camaraderie This T10 tournament is also held in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, Dominica. Trinidad, I think, normally have 2 tournaments per year, so it's really spread across the region, and players move from country to country. And as you said, which is really good to see.
Yeah, I don't think that many of these regional players can say that there is a dearth for cricket. Lots of opportunities around the region to play in different franchises.
So quite a quiet start. 5 deliveries being bowled. It's 2 without loss.
Yeah, Dubisset has kept a good line so far. And just 2 runs coming off his over, so this is a good start. Wide signal by the umpire. It was much too far outside the off stump. Keeper standing up. Not many medium fast bowlers like that. Ball tucked down to mid-on and went for the single. Not well held there at mid-on. So the over comes to an end. A good over by Amical Dubisset, producing only 4. Good start by the Clove challengers.
Yeah, he will be pleased with his first over, just going for 4 runs. We saw in that over just a couple short deliveries, but again, seemed to be really coming off the pitch really nicely. One last delivery hit down to mid-on, really firmly. Just a bit of juggling with the fielder there. Allowed the batsman to complete a single. But they will be, Clove Challenger will be happy with the first over being bowled.
I want to be reminded, though, that it's 9 overs and not 10. So whatever they've got to do it quickly.
Nicholas Redhead, and he's taking it up from this southern end. Down to third man, just drop in front of the third man fielder. And Charles Andrew, it is that would have played his short lifting delivery down to third man.
Yeah, it's just a shame, really, that Nicholas Redhead has been plagued with injuries. But generally, somebody who is very passionate about his game, loves to bowl.
Yeah, I was making a point about Nicholas Redhead. Is one of the players who really didn't come to the system. Meaning they hit tongue too long on that. This would be the first maximum of the match. Ball pitched up. And Charles, as we have seen him in his last inning, just lifting this one over long on and went for a huge 6.
Yes, carry power hit maximum. Got under it. Never really wanted to get on top of the ball. When you want to drive it along the ground, you get on top of it. Or maybe sort of drive through the line. But when you want to get it over the boundary line, then you go underneath it and lift it. And that's what he did. It's going again.
This one looked bigger. Another carry maximum ball pitched up. And with all the ease, there was no rush there. I think he timed it well and hit it to over mid-on. This one long on probably went a little further.
Yeah, I thought Nicholas Redhead might have been advised just to pull his length back, especially as he was struck for that big blow, the previous delivery. But he pitched it up again.
17 without loss into the second over. This goes over mid-wicket and they're going to run close and goes across the rope for yet another boundary. And this has been really a...
Yeah, well, he is in punishing mood. He really is. It's Charles. He is gun blazing, and his nozzle is aimed towards the boundary.
Well, he came in yesterday in that aggressive frame of mind. I think in the last game he probably batted somewhere around number 4. And he's the one that would have set up Nutmeg Warriors after they would have lost the only wicket of Fletcher. And
Yeah,
brought
he's coming
them to the high score of 142.
Redhead is going to go from round the wicket. The previous delivery, he came from round, but he started over the wicket. Just maybe trying to cramp Charles, who's raced to 17 of 7. So after a good over by Michael Dubisset, Redhead has spoilt it somewhat. Ball outside the house stump that he pushed down to Gully and got a single. Good rotation of the strike. Not everything is going to come within that arc to lift to the boundary. Some of them, when they're good deliveries, you've got to know the importance of showing respect. I think Redhead would go back over the wicket.
A lovely shot. Goes down to backward point for 4. Well played by Andrew. Again, but he given some room. And he reached for it and just placed it just to the right of that point fielder. And it raced across the field despite the rain that we had. It really rushed across the field for 4.
Yeah, it was short and outside the off stump, and he still had to reach for it somewhat. And it went all along the ground. Good shot by Andrew. So 2 overs gone, 26 without loss. That was a pretty expensive over there by Redhead. Went for 22. That's massive.
Yeah, big over for the Clove challenger. They had 2 6s and 2 4s in that over.
Let's go.
So score moves to 26 without loss after 2 overs.
Back him up.
Ball hit back past the bowler. They get a single. It's always easy to get the single when it's hit in that direction. Now he's coming from over the wicket. And when the ball, of course, hit back to his right, it's always difficult for the bowler to veer across to stop it. If it's going to his left and is follow through, it is always an easier task. The keeper, Charles, standing up. Lives that one. That's going high and hard, and it's going to go all the way.
Well, actually taking at mid-on.
Oh, it was taken at
He
mid-on.
didn't get the power. Actually, it was a slower delivery, and it was a well bowled by Dubisset. We know he is that sort of bowler. And Andrew looking to hit some way over long on.
Yeah.
And really was too early into the shot. And it went high in the air, and the field at mid-on really had just to wait and accepted what was a simple catch.
Yeah, it had the height, but certainly didn't have the distance. It went so high in the air. For a moment, it looked as though it was going to go all the way, but it didn't. And so, Nutmeg Warriors losing the prize wicket of Andrew, looking to go over the top.
Well, it was probably the right shot to play, but certainly the ball, he had to negotiate the fact that it was a slower delivery, which he didn't do. And I think that's why he really was only able to get it to mid-on.
Yeah, he is known for mixing it up, Dubisset. Does bowl a very good slower ball. I think he's played in all the seasons so far, hasn't he?
You're probably right. I think
Yes.
he would have played from the time it began.
So he's pretty experienced. Fletcher goes out and joins Charles. Should be a good contest. Fletcher, who had a couple of good blows yesterday, but was caught down at the deep square boundary from a well-timed shot. It was.
Played down to mid-wicket. Lovely shot. And really, he picked it up. It was a slow delivery. And Fletcher played it really well. You could have seen him waiting on it and hit down on it and really beat the mid-wicket. They rush across this field, which shows that really the water that they had that came haven't affected it in any way. And Fletcher picking up 4 in his first delivery.
Yeah, it was a good shot. He got on top of it and rolled the wrist over it well. But there was power attached to it too.
Dive on the kettle. Well done.
Doesn't time that as well as he
Keep going, guys. Keep
wanted,
going. Left.
Fletcher. But got a single. So Nutmeg Warriors 32 for 1.
Yeah,
They've got a good run rate though. It's 12 per over now.
And this could be a really important partnership for Nutmeg Warriors. We have yet to see Fletcher really in his glory in this tournament.
Dive.
Yeah, there's some players who get off to good starts in tournaments and fade away at the end. And then there are others who get off to poor starts or fair starts, and as the competition heightens, they tend to get better and better. I think you'd prefer to be those kind of players who perform better and better as the tournament goes on, rather than having a couple of early good matches and then fade away.
Yeah, you certainly don't want to end well. And certainly coming up
Yes.
to the end of the tournament, you want to make sure you're at your best. And I agree with you. The players that ends well, you really want to prefer that. Dubisset has been doing pretty well. It's just about completed his second over. He just went for 10, picking up the important wicket. So he would have done well with his 2 overs that he would have bowled.
Yeah, he must be happy over his performance. Amikal Dubisset, 1 for 10 of 2. And after 3 overs, Nutmeg Warriors, they're 33 for 1.
Yeah, they would want to maintain a sort of run rate. 11 runs for over, projected score now is 99, but they certainly wouldn't want to drop under that run rate. Remember, it's 9 overs.
Bowler is coming right time over the wicket.
As we see, the cloud is lifting a bit outside, a bit brighter, which is good news.
Yes, much brighter than it was, let's say, about an hour ago, where it looked rather gloomy, very misty and dark. And although the sun has not really come out, you know that the very heavy dark clouds, they have moved away.
So it's Sheldon Joseph.
White ball.
One remembers he bowled a tremendous over yesterday in the afternoon in their game. It's one of the bowlers again also that use a lot of variation. Redhead, speaking about Redhead, as you rightly said, he's a player that discipline in his work hard. Fletcher pulled this one down to square leg and goes for 4 short, and Charles rather quickly into his wicket and swinging it, and that would have been backward square. And the fielder pretty squarish at backward square position. Really had no chance, but good positive shot.
Yeah, and that ball was taken off the middle stump, maybe just over the middle stump. Got inside the line early, and that was one of the outstanding features of that shot. Got inside the line early, picked up the line and length, and was able to swing it down to backward square. The good players do pick up line and length very quickly.
Another short delivery. He's hit somewhere and has gone down somewhere in his stomach, it seems. There. It's a quicker and shorter delivery. And we're going to look at the replay there. As he really was looking to pull that one, but as we see, really quicker delivery. And yeah, just hit in the mid-wrist there. But I think the piece would have flowed. He may be okay.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
I think
the batsman, you've got to expect those deliveries. May well have had him a little winded. And better he gets hit there rather than south of the border.
Yeah. Yeah, but Joseph there came around the wicket, and you could see that was a much quicker delivery. And looking for the pull. Was beaten by Peace.
Wide signal by the umpire. Yeah, as long as you're in the line of traffic, you're expected to have incidents and accidents. As a batsman, I don't think any batsman could ever expect to go through his career without getting hit at some point, painfully.
Again, he's hit this one down to, again, just past the backward point again, picking up another boundary, short delivery. And Charles was on top of this one. And just hit it past the backward point for another 4.
Yes. Slashed at it hard. Really went very quickly to the right of that short third. And it went very quickly to the boundary for 4. He's really pushed on. He's over the 200 strike rate.
High in there, this one's short. Where's it for? The mid-on comes in. It really couldn't get there. Again, taken high up. I think being probably defeated by the bunks, as he was looking for that favorite pull shot which he plays. He picked up a single in the process.
So already 11 runs coming off this over. Still 2 deliveries to go. This is a good start by Nutmeg Warriors. They're 44 for 1 into the 4th. Just to remind viewers and listeners, 9 overs allotment per team.
That's a lovely shot by Fletcher again. Pitched up and whipped it. You probably might be able to describe that shot. It's a shot that he plays where he does not even look.
I was just about to ask you, Raphael, whether you thought that was the no-look one. I would love to see it again, just to confirm whether it was the no-look. Was it? Yes, it was the no-look. There was the recoil. Wonderful, wonderful. I think it's one of his trademark shots. He's played that with great consistency over the years, all over the world.
Down to long on. Jackson comes around and drops the catch. Will be disappointed. Short delivery. And Fletcher hitting it down to long on. And his very good friend, Jackson, feeling to hold on to this one.
Yeah, he certainly didn't cue that all that well. And a catch that should have been taken. But we should, as the over comes to an end, 4 was gone, it's 49-4. We should maybe just explain, Raphael, because for people who don't really understand cricket or whose knowledge is rather limited, no-look shot doesn't necessarily mean that the batsman doesn't look, because he's got to look at the ball first. But when he hits the ball, does not look in the direction of the ball, where the ball goes ultimately. So that's why it's usually described as a no-look hit. You've got to look at it first, of course, to hit it. But once the ball meets bat, the batsman does not look in the direction that the ball goes after being hit. So it's called a no-look hit.
Yeah, and it's one of the shots that we have seen that has come into the game pretty lately. Not much players play those sort of shots.
Yeah, that's
just is really a trademark shot, which that he plays.
Yeah, nobody plays it like him. Just like when the scoop came, Dilshan, they call it the Dil scoop. He played it so well. Former Sri Lankan.
That just one is hit straight back, and Fletcher again picking up another 4. First delivery from Cotton Murray, over toss, and he came forward with confident ease and just hit it straight back past the bowler.
Free his arms and just got the front leg out of the way and was able to hit that straight.
So Fletcher is on 14, Charles 28, and this pair has already put on 26.
Fletcher just backing away and opening the face of the bat and glides it. In his earlier days, he didn't cut the ball very well through the offside, Fletcher. I would think, though, over the last 3 or 4 years, especially to the left arm orthodox, he has been able to pierce the outside field with alarming regularity because he has worked on spanking the ball through the offside.
I think one of his assets really is being able to time the ball well. Have a very good eyes.
Good eyes.
And have been able to time the ball. This one is swung high into the air. Let's see, the back mid-wicket comes in. Let's see, and drops. That's surprising, just dropped in front of him.
Both fielders were coming in, I would say, with a snail's pace. That ball stayed tremendously long in the air, and as if neither of them wanted to go for it, so to speak. It was more of a half-hearted effort. Should have been a much more concerted effort to get to that ball. Not good cricket.
Yeah, this really was a poor piece of fielding there, and we look at Darren Hippolyte, knowing the quality player that he is, coming in from that mid-wicket there, and one really felt that he had time to get there. Nicholas Redhead was coming from what had been more a mid-on, straightish mid-wicket.
Yeah, you wonder whether both of them were looking to each other to make the effort to take the catch. But there must be that awareness of where your fellow fielder is, whether the ball is closer to you or not. Those are things you've got to be mentally prepared to observe and to know.
So it's 57 for 1. We into the 5th over. Fletcher 17 from 8. And Dijon Charles 29 from 15. Yes. Okay, not to the pitch, but good bowling by Maurice. Seeing Fletcher looking to come down. Just drop it a bit shorter, and he pulled it down to long on.
Fletcher, of course, who has this mannerism, does touch the pads, the top of his pads, both of them, then the elbow, and then goes up to the cap to headwear or helmet, as the case may be.
Wow, well done, coach. Well done,
Can you
coach.
think of any sportsman or sports personnel at the international level that tend to touch maybe touch the pants, or or going to touch the cap or the head?
Yeah.
And
Well,
any other sport that you could think about?
it doesn't, nothing comes to mind now. But I know that Fletcher does all of those little rituals, you may call it, before he faces a delivery. Everybody's got their own little thing that they do. Some players used to go down the pitch. I know Sir Viv would at times just go and do a bit of gardening, sometimes pound away with the bottom of the bat at a non-existent particle. Those things, whatever it takes to enhance your concentration, players do those things.
59 for 1. We have 5 over completed. And we are going to see Joseph.
I think Mitchell Stark does brush the whip of his hair back and preparing to move into bowl. Dennis Lilly, of course, carried that headband.
Sorry, it's Richard Rogers. Okay, ball comes off the edge and taken at short third man. First delivery there. And Charles looking to repeat that shot that you'd have played over long on, coming off the edge. And the fielder coming in quickly. Hassan Jackson coming in from that short third man, picking up a very good catch.
Very good catch, good sharp catch. He had to come in, and not only that, dive a little bit to his right too, and picked up what turned out to be a very good catch, and also a very important wicket. That was a good knock by Charles. Played very well. And they've got a pretty good run rate now, which is 11.42. Just gone past the halfway stage. Here, the Nutmeg Warriors would want to just take it up another notch, beg your pardon.
Yeah, we're into the 6th over. And I think it's a good wicket for the Clove Challengers. So this is a pair that really could have taken the attack to Clove Challengers and really take the game away from them.
Yes, he was really galloping along, Charles. McDonald now comes in to join Fletcher.
So just to go back to the players, one that quickly come to mind. Tom's going to touch his pants, his hand goes to the back, something touch the cap, hit down the long off for a single, touch the cap and so forth. And the player that comes to mind is the tennis player Nadal.
Oh, Nadal, yeah, that's correct. You're right. In the tennis world, yes. Does all of those rituals and before he gets into serving. What an outstanding player he's been over the years. Great longevity. Very agile on the field of play. Down the track is
in the air. Let's see where this one goes. And clears the long off boundary really with ease. And Andrew Fletcher hitting another huge 6. Carry power hit.
Yeah, nice use of the feet. Nice use of the feet. And it went even beyond our commentary booth here.
Yeah, it's
big hit.
Seemingly has gone over the pavilion, which is a big hit.
Just check a little later to ensure that my windshield is intact. Raphael, where are you parked?
I'm certainly away.
Okay, so you're not in danger.
Yeah, I use a little wisdom, walk and park pretty far from this area.
Yeah, it's always dangerous, of course, with these shorter versions where everybody is looking to go over the boundary line looking for maximum. I remember Kotoy having his windshield broken. Can't remember who the batsman was. Was a West Indian. Was it Russell? Can't quite remember.
I can't remember
His
who
car
it
was
was.
parked in the parking lot and got hit.
There was someone in Jamaica.
Yeah, it
Some
was
team
in Jamaica.
which got the vehicle hit also.
Can't remember who was the batsman though, but I remember that Shalon Cottrell. Yes, that's right. His vehicle was hit.
Well, I just understand that somebody got their vehicle broken the day before.
Oh, really did?
Yeah.
Careful where you stand, careful where you park your vehicles, because a ball might be coming in that direction.
Hey, bola, 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 bola.
So
Fletcher again using his speed, but not getting under that one. I think he's a little disappointed that he didn't lift it. That was a good delivery by Rogers.
yeah, he got it on the full, but I think Rogers is looking to bowl it right up the Yorker link, and really didn't give him the chance to get under it, and he sort of dragged it down to long on. And this one is swung again, another car power hit, as we see McDonald picking up this one and hitting it over wide long on. Again, picking up his first maximum.
Yeah, that was an imperious shot. He hit it with a real touch, got right under it and swung lustily. Got it from the middle of the bat, the beefy, meaty part, and launched it over long on for another carry. Power hit maximum. Well hit.
73 for 2. Rogers really has been in for some 6 in this over. This one go down to backward square, and the fielder coming around. And that completes
The end of the over.
his first over. Richard Rogers going for 15 in his first over. And the score 74 for 2.
Good over.
Six completed overs.
Good over for the Nutmeg Warriors. 74 for 2. 15 coming off. And don't forget, it's not a 10-over match. It's been abbreviated to 9. So 3 overs remaining. And they will want to get at least 14, these 3 refill.
Yes, they will want to definitely cross the 3-figure 100 mark. 110. We'll be happy to probably get up to that score. 110. Projected score is 111. Well, I think it's if Fletcher remains for the next 3 overs, if both batters remain for the next 3 overs, I'm pretty sure they will probably get over 110.
Yes, the run rate now is 12.33. They probably would like to end at about 14. That'll be a good asking rate.
Caught more in his second over.
Done, cut, well done.
Certainly, Clove challengers definitely will have other thoughts in terms of keeping things tight. But they are both good strikers of the ball.
It's going to be challenging here for Murray.
Catch now, come in.
Down to long off. The long off fielder comes in and takes the catch. Really, and as you say, challenging but real ball by Murray Day. And McDonald looking to clear the long off area. Only was able to hit it down to the fielder at long off.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it might be better refill if you would reach out to the ball rather than going down on one knee and trying to use the power. Now, he went down on one knee and hit that down to long off, but what about if you had used your feet a bit, get under it, and lift it? To me, you get a better timing, and you also get better power in the shot rather than being on one knee. But again, player's preference. I could see it if it is slightly outside the leg stump or middle and leg, as the case may be, then you're down on the knee and you help it. And it makes it much easier for deliveries in that area to swing down to backward square to mid wicket or forward square leg, as the case may be. But when it's on that off stump line, it might be better just to use the feet a bit. And then you can open the face of the bat or close it or hit straight down the ground, as the case may be.
Yeah, you're right. And it's something that we have spoken about on so many occasions in terms of the players getting close to the delivery. Outside the off stump, just a little chip. And it would have put him in an ideal position where he probably could have hit that ball probably where he wanted. And as you get closer to the delivery, it therefore means that you do not have exert the sort of power that you are trying to do when you're not close to the delivery.
This Andrew replaces Charles. Just the one ball outside the off stump. I thought that first ball he may have probably thought it might have been a wide, but it was certainly inside the line. 74 for 3. We're in over number 7.
Oh yes, boy. Oh yes, boy. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes.
Another
Oh,
dot
yes.
ball. So Murray is proving to be rather economical, and it's also picked up a wicket. Tantalizing outside the off stump. Another swish at it. Doesn't make contact.
This is why your top order is so important. Remember when Fletcher was dropped pretty early at mid-on, you'll tend to find that the middle down to the lower half of the batting would tend to struggle against the slower bowlers. That's why it is so important for your top half take the lead in terms of batting. He has completed what was a very good over, finishing with 1 for 10. Really, last 4 deliveries or dot deliveries.
Yes, last 4 deliveries dot. You didn't quite expect that. 7 overs gone is 74 for 3 with Andrew not off the mark. And a lot will depend on Fletcher now, who is 25 of 11. He'll be taking strike.
So just to update you in terms of the point standing, Clove challengers, they're on top with 4 points, with having played 4 games, win 3, lose 1. Likewise, we have Ginger Generals. They also play 4 games. They win 2, lose 2. Nutmeg Warriors, 4 games, win 3, lost 1. Cinnamon Peters, 5 games, they won 2, lost 3. Saffron Strikers played 5 games, they won 2 and lost 3. And Bailey Blasters, bottom of the table, after 4 games, they have won 1 and lost 3. So Clove Challengers on top with 6 points. Ginger Generals 4, Nutmeg Warriors 6, and probably these are one of the top teams to look at. This is why this game is so important. Jackson clipped down to backward square, superb shot by Fletcher, short and inside his wicket and just clipped it, and it dropped 1 bounce and it went down to that backward square position for 4.
It was a shot that brought his downfall yesterday, a la Gordon Greenwich. I think it's confirmed that it did it go all the way, maximum? So,
yes, just confirming there is another car power hit, a maximum. It really traveled really quickly.
yeah, got up on one leg. No ball, signaled by the umpire. Guilty of overstepping. So he's got to bowl that over. And it's going to be a free hit. Don't want to do that. Not at this time, Jackson. Just guilty of overstepping. So it's going to be a free hit.
And importantly, Fletcher didn't take the single, hit down the long on. He had decided as captain that he would take up the responsibility.
Let me ask you what you thought about that, Refill.
I would have taken the single.
You
I
would
think
take
it's
the
kind
single.
of early. It's kind of early. We just the second ball into the 8th over.
He's probably saying to himself too that, well, Andrew has not scored off a 4, and maybe seeing that he's a bit out of touch, well, let me stay here. But this, I've often seen things like that backfire.
Yeah, different bowler. This is a fast bowler. You face spin. And it's all in over, so I would have just taken the opportunity to hit. This one goes down and it clears that third man. Yes, it clears. We were fine third man would be for another carry power hit. It goes all the way for 6.
Yeah, that's not where he wanted it to go, inadvertent. But with the sort of result that he wanted a maximum 6, he got that. And it probably proved to be the better decision. Although Raphael did say if it were he would not have done that. He would have taken the single. Fletcher felt that he's motoring on. He's now 37 or 15. It's a bit of a hold up here, Raphael.
Yeah, the confident. I think he's confident enough to figure that he would take it on, and probably would look to try and clear the boundary as much time as possible. He does have the power. He does have the ability. So it's a matter of him being confident to be able to take up that role.
Yes, again, auxiliary balls are brought out. And boy, we've seen that happen very regularly over the last few days. In fact, since the tournament started.
Yeah, a number of 6s have been hit in this tournament. It might be interesting to just to find out how many 6s have been hit so far.
Jackson just spray that outside the out. It might have been a slow ball too. And Fletcher was giving himself room. So Fletcher, of course, who knows how important this innings is, not just for him, but for his team. Short delivery. And he was
Really
looking
good.
to uppercut.
Yeah, good piece there. Good
Yes.
bonks by Jackson.
Well bowled. He's put thought into that one. Not pitching up so that Fletcher can go for the drive. And not dropping it short onto the leg stump for the pull. So this is good bowling. Really is. Good batting this time by Fletcher, who opens the face of the bat and glides it. Gets a single to rob the over. So he takes strike. 8 overs gone. It's 88 for 3. And this should be the last over coming up. Final over.
Yeah, and Jackson came back really well with the last few deliveries in that over. He went for 13 for 14 in his only over that he bowled and will bowl in this game after being struck for 6 and also 4. Actually 2 6s in the over, so he has done pretty well, come back strongly. 88 for 3 after 8 overs. Fletcher, who have moved on to 38, and he has faced 18 deliveries with 3 4s and 3 6s. And Kellis Andrew, after facing 4 deliveries, not yet off the mark. So Fletcher would have make sure that he get to the other end just to start the last over.
Yes, which I thought was pretty good batting and thoughtfulness. You've got to be thinking all the time when playing this game. Be able to assess it. Know the position of the game and assess conditions well. And yes, rotation of the strike is important, but sometimes you've got to farm it, farm the strike based upon who is your non-striker and the competence of the non-striker, as the case may be.
So Darren Ned, he would bowl the final over. And Fletcher.
I think this is a good move, Raphael.
Yeah.
Ned, who's experienced.
Yeah, he actually bowled the last over and the previous game and really bowled it well. Darren Ned known for he was first known as a fast bowler with tremendous pace. But I certainly reduced pace, and in this shorter version, it's about line and length and being consistent.
He's got to use his experience here against Fletcher.
That's what's hit for 4, and no one actually moved. Pitched up and just hit to the right of the extra cover. And that race across the surface for 4.
You're right, nobody moved. Hit the concrete, the wall, and bounced back maybe about another 15 yards back into the field of play. Just tells you how hard it was hit.
92. Fletcher moves to 42. Quite easily the best inning he has having the tournament so far.
Yes. It looks rather composed, though. There's nothing panicky in his body language. Looks rather casual, as he's always known to be. Tends to, when he's at the non-striker's end, lean on his bat, sometimes cross his leg. Always got his right hand on the hip once he's not facing.
Really has not been struggling because he looked good. You play some really good shot, and maybe out to some kind of sometimes unfortunate, but it's not that he struggles in the wicket. He look composed.
Yeah, it's the only batsman I see does so much. He does touch both pads, and then that's right, and then he goes, flicks the bat from the left hand to the right, twitches at the shirt sleeve, then the peak of his hat. No, they've gone for one. Are they going to come back for second? The return will not come in. Oh, well, they got 2 and they really shouldn't have. But that also tells you the importance of running, Raphael, your first run quickly. Not good fielding, though.
Yeah, poor feeling on the boundary there. I think he's trying to make it who's on there, whether it's Jackson, but really a poor bit of feeling. Straight, driven straight. Let's see, you're going to look for 2, and this one goes across the road for 4. Firmly hit all along the ground, and again, the fielder probably should have done a lot better.
Yeah, it didn't look like 4 from here.
Yeah, he got there and really...
Yeah, no, that's really bad. That's poor. Took too long to get down, to cut that off. You can't cut that off standing as tall as he tried to. Could have even slight tackled it. Really should not have been a boundary there whatsoever.
We see now the captain. And one really should not blame the bowler himself. I think Darren Ned did well, keeping the ball right up. So we only giving him only the opportunity to drive. But the fielder, as we say, really should have stopped it. Captain Keto just having a discussion with Darren Ned. Again, right up, and this one is swung, and this one way over long on for another huge maximum carry power hit. Andrew Fletcher bringing up his 50 with that superb shot.
Yeah, it was. It really was. He went full-bloodedly
Come on, let's finish well.
into that shot, clean over the mid-wicket area and cleared the boundary by several meters. That was a truly big hit. Threw the
So
kitchen sink at it.
It's a 54 from 22 deliveries. It's a short, gone down to that same position again for another maximum, shortish in length, and Fletcher getting into his wicket and hitting it over wide long on for another carriacou hit.
Well, let's look and see what he did after he hit that. Hit it, and it went all the way. Maybe the camera was not on him afterward. It went down and did something a little funny. Caught 6. There was something stylistic about what he did after scoring that 6. And again, balls will come out to replace that one that may have been lost. You know when he is enjoying his innings is Fletcher, and he certainly is. This is supposed to be the final delivery coming up. 110 for 3, and Fletcher's gone to 60 of 23.
Yeah, it has been a good over. 2 maximums and a 4.
Go ahead, finish well, silly guys. Come on.
Neda's gone for 22 of 5. There was Pleasure. He went down, looked at it all the way, and then did a little recoil and stood up in that stylistic manner. It was quite funny indeed.
Yeah, he will want to finish it with a maximum.
110 for 3.
This one. Dot ball to finish it off. Again, looking for that pull shot. And well taken by the keeper. Standing up, the Nutmeg Warriors, 110 for 3.
Just wondered whether Fletcher was in his crease. Was he in his crease? Charles did a very good job behind the stumps. Well, just wait to see. Let's look at this again. And it was a difficult take. Then he came down, whipped off the bail, and it could well be that, we're not sure.
Yeah, from our angle, just look at the bat was outside. Just short of the crease, but we haven't seen any signal.
110 for 3, that's what we make it, and so which means if the umpire didn't put the index finger up, meant that he was there. 9 overs, 110 for 3, and Fletcher not out. 24, Andrew not out, no score, faced 4 balls, and the last over, that's Ned, none for 22.
Yeah, so Clove challenges batting first. Dijon Charles, he was caught by Jackson Bull Rogers for 17 deliveries. And he hit 3 4s and 2 6s. Jevan Andrew didn't last too long. Caught Ned. Bull Dubuisset for 6. He had just 5 deliveries, 11 minutes. Andrew Fletcher not, well, according to the score, Bull not out on 60, 24 deliveries. 37 minutes, 5 4s and 5 6s. And Daniel McDonald caught Ned Murray for 8, and he had 5 deliveries. And Kellis Andrew not out, no score. He faced 4 deliveries. Amical Dubuisset 2 overs, 1 for 10. Nicholas Redhead 1 over, 22 runs. Sheldon Joseph 1 over for 16. Caught Murray 2 overs, 1 for 10. Rogers 1 over for 15. Jackson 1 over for 14. And Darren Ned bowled 1 over for 22. So we saw the bowling once again of Curt Murray. He had 2 overs, picking up 1 for 10. Dubuisset 2 overs, also picking up 1 for 10. Happy in the feature of the bowling, but again, happy in a really impressive batting by Nutmeg Warriors.
Absolutely. And with a run rate of 12.22, that's a pretty healthy asking rate for the Clove challengers, but they're going to challenge it, no question about it. 9 overs, 110 for 3, and by and large, it's been a sparkling innings by Andre Fletcher, 60 of 24. So we're going to be back after this break, and then we'll have the run chase by Clove challengers.
So we're back here at Lassages just to see the reply on what would be what is an important encounter. Clove challengers need 111 in 9 overs. As we are about to see the first delivery being called out wide. Justin really have been a good batting performance by Nutmeg Warriors to get up to 110.
Yeah, they're the team that is playing as champions. They're defending champion, and they're certainly playing like that. It will take a really brilliant reply to surpass that asking rate of over 12. Never easy. But
again, just a strain down the leg side, Josh Thomas. We have seen Hassan Jackson yesterday batting through the inning. Just ended it with faced 21 deliveries through the inning. But we see a more subdued Jackson. But they would need a good start to get up to that 111 required.
first runs of the bat. Of course, the Clove challengers would certainly need every run they are granted.
What they have, the score is 3. It's only 1 delivery ball. There were 2 wides. Samuel Charles, who we haven't seen really much from. Good slow delivery by Thomas. Charles was equal to it, pushing it back past him, so he's off the mark.
Saying that 110 is a reasonably good score. We haven't seen too many teams actually. Quite a few teams would have fallen under that in the tournament so far.
Yeah, we look at the score so far, and one realize that even at 110, probably has been challenging to some of the teams. And having made 110 in 9 overs, again, make it even more challenging. We had scores of 70 and scores of 59, driven straight. This is going to rush down to that straight boundary for 4. Good shot. Ball pitched up. Jackson coming forward and just driving it just to the right of the bowler. And picking up the first boundary of the inning.
We've seen all along that this length is really very, very easy to put away. And Josh probably just getting too close to the batsman. And a rather controlled shot by Jackson. Didn't look too too hard. Just got it past the bowler. Well timed. It went quickly down to the boundary for 4. Pretty good conditions out there.
Clipped, lovely. This is going to run down to the boundary for another 4. Again, pitched up, and he played with the tide and whipped it over forward square leg. And there's a couple bounces and down to the boundary for another 4.
Yeah, just struggling a bit with the control there, Thomas. One straight and full, and one just drifting onto the legs of Jackson, and all he had to do was to clip it away, and it went away for 4. So back-to-back boundaries. Want to end the over pretty well. Almost up with the required rate.
Turned fine, and this is going to go down for 4 more. Let's see, it's actually 4 wides. One thought that he probably got something onto that one, but really passing down the leg side, and also the keeper couldn't get across. So 5 runs added to the score.
Just the type of start, of course, the Clove challengers wanted. I was hoping for. Really not good control at all already. Quite a number of extras, 5 and to 7.
Driven, and this going to go where? This go to fielder coming around and
mistaken.
goes for the first
Maximum.
carry power hit, and that goes over that backward square area for 6. Certainly a big over for the Clove challengers, you know, as they look to chase down that 111 that is required.
Yes, and this over almost cancelling out the final over which was bowled by Darren Ned, where he went for about 22 in the over. So this has almost been cancelled. So good start by the Clove challengers. I think the nerves will basically be eased by the start that they have gotten in the first over.
So 23 runs in the first over. And they couldn't ask for a better start. Jackson is 15 from 5. Samuel Charles only faced 1 delivery. He's on 1. Belfon. Nyron Belfon. The left arm medium piece. Ball pulled. Let's see the mid wicket. That goes 1 bounce. Down to the boundary for 4. Short delivery. And Charles had all the time in the world to really get back and swing that one. And even there was a backward forward square leg on the boundary, it really was the way to the left of the fielder. So good. Really good start. Fielder now is dropped right back on the mid-wicket boundary. Straightish mid-wicket, and there's a backward square right back on the boundary. He's had 2 fielders out. And
so there are some easy runs to be had on the onside. There is no one from long on to deep mid wicket, and of course the umpires, there were no one even close to the umpire. So there's
just a short
some
5
singles
leg.
and twos.
And Fletcher at mid on, and the 2 fielders right back on the ropes. Straightish mid wicket, backward square. Jackson is pulling, and this one goes down just past the fielder at mid wicket and crosses the rope on another 4. And one thing that the fielder there probably was beaten with the pace of the ball as it dropped and really rushed, just skid off the surface.
Again, it was so well struck. You want to think that he barely had a chance. It was very well struck. He had to run about 10 meters away to his right, and even so couldn't get in line with the ball.
So really good start by Clove challengers.
Already the rate is just above, just 10.5. The asking rate. When they started, it was 12, almost 12.5. So they've already done some damage in that regard.
Yeah, there are loads of space on the onside, and as you said, the ball just playing on the onside. Jackson, he's 20 from 7 deliveries.
And already 10 runs in the over, so there is no need for panic now. With 2 deliveries to go, they have already got what they needed in this over.
Hit the down to point for 4, and that was really played with all the ease in the world. Shortish delivery, slow one, bowled by Belfon, and Samuel just getting back and just place it, and it really didn't look as though, you know, it had the power to reach a boundary, but the timing was there, and placed it in the gap. There's a rush across the field for yet another boundary. So they're really scoring in boundaries. Samuel, the second 4, he's on 10. And this time he really wasn't able to pick the gap to another shorter ball. and they feel that backward point was able to stop it. A bit lucky there with that last delivery not being hit for another 4. But good over there again for the Clove challengers. 37 without loss. We had 2 overs being bowled. Jackson on 20 and Samuel Charles on 5.
Well, 2 very expensive overs. 2 overs which the Nutmeg Warriors really cannot afford. And at 37 for no loss, scoring at a current rate of almost 18 and a half. So they will want to try to pull that back. And I'm surprised to see another over being given to Josh Thomas. It's very ragged in the first.
Yeah, Thomas went for 23 in his first over. This one played down to long off by a deep mid-off by Jackson.
Couldn't contemplate a run since he was struck so well.
So Thomas went for 23 in his first over. And Belfont also going for 14 in his first over. Right up. Good Yorker.
That's much better by Josh Thomas so far. 2 deliveries. Second one, a very good Yorker. Close to the toes of the batsman. He had to come down very hard on it. And again. Really.
Very good run in there again. Thomas straying down the leg side. And the batsman taking the opportunity. Keeper not collecting cleanly. Really has been some tough work for the keeper. They having to really move to his left quickly. Thomas have been able to get the ball to swing into the right hander. So he pitches on the leg stump. Really, it will go a long way. Short delivery in there. Somebody going to take this, get the mid-on coming in and take the catch. A short delivery. And Jackson not getting into position. Again, there was some extra bunks in that delivery. And hitting in the air. The mid-on fielder coming in Charles. Dijon Charles coming in to take a simple catch. And the Clove challengers lost their first wicket.
Yeah. The one, and was really going Jackson. Gone for 21 from 9. But from the start, it was a much better over by Thomas so far, despite the wide. That's really found much better control than he showed in his first over.
It probably would have been easier Justin to play that ball over a backward point, just to get back and steer it with the bunks. So many times we find some of our batters are always looking to pull shot, looking for the power. But probably would have been better advised to just come back and steer it over the point and pick up a boundary.
Yeah, he didn't get himself in a very good position at all. He was just all over the place. One could have seen the head moving and the feet moving and trying to clobber it over the onside. He succeeded in lobbing it towards mid-on.
So Keto down the leg side, and again they're going to go down to the boundary for 4 wide. Really poor bowling there again by Thomas. Give the keeper no chance. That ball stayed down a bit after it would have passed the batsman. And really tough work for the keeper.
Hey, to me, it's ridiculous. Bowlers of Josh Thomas' experience from a national fast bowler, played so much cricket, and just can't seem. And that's a real feature of some of his performances so far.
Hit on the pad and they scamper a leg by.
And probably they feel that they're not really alert to what was going on, and there was also a chance for a run out, but that urgency. But it was a good shot. It was a delivery which struck Keto. Probably again just going down the leg side because Thomas seemed to be getting the ball to come in sharply into the batsman. That may have just been missing leg stump. You really can't afford to be giving away all these extras.
Yeah, at 46 for 1, maybe into the third over.
Yes, Andy.
Just need to bat sensibly if they're going to get up there. Has been a very good start. Need a further 65. Again, down the leg side, and once again goes for four wide.
That's
really has
ridiculous,
been
man.
poor bowling, and feel a little bit sorry for Javananju as a keeper. Really very, very tough. And that ball, and there's still a short fine leg, so there's no one right back. Josh Thomas has now gone for 36. And so one delivery remaining. Picked up the input. Now they are pushing the short fine leg right back. You just have still 2 more deliveries in the over. 51 it is.
And wide outside the off stump again.
So I think they have lost it. Wide of the off stump. 52 for 1 being the third over.
Then
They require for the 59 runs.
which ones one expect they should get that on a canter. They
Call
require
now.
under 10.
Call
No
now
go
for
over.
sensible batting. Play to mid-wicket. They're probably going to pick up just one day coming back for the second run. Good run in there. And for the 2 runs, so that completes the spell of Josh Thomas. He had 1 for 39. And really, just one delivery to go. Really happy. A good start. We saw a pretty good start by the Nutmeg Warriors. Clove Challengers really has replied strongly. Driven, lovely shot, and good bit of feeling in the covers there. That one was struck well. Would be a little disappointed not to pick the gap, but over pitch delivery and hit firmly to cover. So that completes an expensive spell by Josh Thomas. In his 2 overs, he went for 39. Picking up the important wicket of Jackson. 54 for 1 of the 3 overs. For the 57 runs is required. And we have 36 deliveries. So, good start by Clove Challengers. Good response.
I think Fletcher has stuck to a particular format of using his bowlers, and probably after the Josh's force over, one might say he could have maybe just tried something else, but that was not to be.
Yeah, probably could have give Thomas a rest after his first over, seeing what would have happened. No, Dillon. This one is hit hard. Where does this one go? This one goes down to the fielder who has
good work.
taken the catch at long off there. And I think the umpire is going to check there. Just to see it went pretty close to the long off fence. They seem to be convinced. And there goes an important wicket of Keto. Looking to clear long off. And the fielder just taking it very close to the ropes. I think it probably his feet was just over and not touching.
No, he had a feeling.
Hope-
I
hope we
guess
probably
well,
gonna see-
Yeah, well, it's a game of
Probably going to
millimeters.
see another replay of that, but a big wicket, K2, and a big blue struck there by Nutmeg Warriors.
Yeah, but I do think that McDonald, who took the catch down there, he had about 4 or 6 inches to play. Judged it very well. Looked anxiously down though to see where he was, and just relaxed and took a very, very good catch. And as you were saying, Crony, there was no need for that. You're virtually in the driver's seat. All you need is to push it around. You're well in control.
And this is where you speak about common sense and good cricket sense. You are in control. 54 starting the fourth over, 59, 57 into the sixth delivery. You push it around. The bad ball's going to come. And that was only the first delivery ball there by Charles. And Keto looking to hit it out of the ground. So Darren Ned comes off the edge, jumped to the boundary for 4. I think short delivery. I think his intention was to probably steer it. Probably not as fine as it went. But they seemed to take the top of the bat and went over probably where first slip would have been. And he picked up a boundary in his first delivery.
I think what the Nutmeg Warriors have not been able to do is to just stop the constant flow of boundaries, which really has advanced the game as far as the Clove Warriors are concerned. But they got to find a way to pull things back. And looking at them on the field, though, Crony, they don't look sprightly. They don't look like too excited out there. They look rather flat.
Yeah, look a bit flat. But I think the start really would have ruffled them a bit. But having picked up the wicket of Keto, I think we probably would instill some interest. It's 58 for 2. But it's still match on. Can't go anyway, but I think that Clove Challengers is still in a good position. It's a team that Justin, in my view, is probably one of the better balanced team. The likes of Keto, Darren, Ned, Jackson. There are still players like Hazard and Court Murray. It's 59 into over number 4. This one is hit, this is going to go down to the boundary for 4. 6. Let's see. We'll just wait for the umpire signal. Yes, clearing that wide third man era and going for another power hit. And 6 runs added to the score. 65. And Ned picking up another boundary. Getting closer to what is required. Very strange that vacant era down there. The third man is fine. Almost what one would term behind second slip. Very fine third man. So there's a load of space. Backward point.
It can only be described so far as a dominant performance and a confident one too. One can see the confidence oozing within the Clove batsmen. Like everyone comes out and look to be very, very positive. On the other hand, you look at the Nutmeg Warriors and they're just probably looking for answers, not knowing where next to turn or who next to turn to.
Samuel Charles here so far. Again, nothing new, nothing dramatic. The push and pick up a single that That's what you need to do, really. Takes his score on to 8. He faced 13 deliveries. 67 for 2.
One can definitely see the thought behind the field placing. But Fletcher saying we can give away 5 or 6 singles, but try to, quell the boundary hitting.
They're probably going to look for 2 runs here. Probably.
Can do.
Again, not much difficulty for the Clove Channels batters. As we see the conclusion of the 4th over, 69 for 2. And quite a strong reply in terms of the rate of scoring. With some 5 overs to go. They require just 42 runs for victory.
Yeah, very confident start, very dominant start, as I said earlier. They have come out and they have really attacked this total, which was at the start not a one. While it may not have been impossible total to overhaul, but at least it depended so much on the start and of course the early batters and how they respond. And well, we all see how they respond. They have responded in a manner, I think, probably which has shocked the Nutmeg Warriors to a certain extent.
Yeah, it has been a blazing start. When you have 23 coming off your first over and 14 off on the second over, it makes the rest of the batting rather easy. And 2 of your attacking players didn't come off. Jackson started well, and then we saw Keto.
Probably
so another single as Toussaint, one of the young players that has showed tremendous promise. Really would have developed.
I think the way he has performed so far, you could have seen him probably earlier. Probably after Josh Thomas had one over, probably Toussaint could have been brought in.
Yeah, playing with the senior players, Toussaint really have been able to hold his own. As a young player with tremendous talent. It's not easy in this shortened version of the game, coming up against some of the top batters. And hit superbly over the cover position. A tremendous shot. Another carry power hit. Ned was really into this one. And they hit it to over cover for 6 with tremendous power.
Yes. So can't afford at all to earn or in line and length.
Really a superb shot they played by Ned. Really into good position. Hit again over cover. And that seemed to have cleared the ropes. As umpires, yes, it has cleared the rope for another carry power hit. And Ned really has picked up the attack. Hit 2 powerful blows. He quickly goes to 25 from 6 deliveries, 82 for 2. And we move over number 5.
Just spoke so often about the Clove challengers as to how compact a unit they are.
Yeah, a punishing reply by the Clove challengers. Fletcher having a word with Toussaint. It's not often you see that he's attacking such a way. I know that cause for concern by the captain.
He's coming also
but he will learn off of this experience.
And he has come into bowl too in a very difficult time. At a time when basically the batsmen are on top. And never the easiest time to come into any attack when the batting is in full cry, the batting is in Every batters are in full form and going after the bowling. And everyone before him, in fact, has been plundered.
Samuel Charles 14 from 9 and drives lovely shot. It will be cut off and not going to reach the ball. And it goes bad miss there by the fielder. It goes over the rope for 4. And again, that speaks so really what is happening with Nutmeg Warriors on the field.
This is just one of those days, and probably they have given this one up. In fact, just over 5 runs and over, they have given this one up already. And,
really convincing performance by the Clove Challenge reply. 89 is the score after 5 overs. And 26 to Ned. Samuel Charles on 20. And just 22 runs required. Really is a good response. Get to that target of 111 for victory.
So 5 overs gone, there's 4 to go. Well, no way that 4 overs would be required. One expects that within the next over or 2 or so, we should see an emphatic victory for the Clove challengers. And it will really be an emphatic victory. It will certainly impact their run rate. They'd have gotten that amount of runs in pretty good time.
Yeah, so it's more balls and runs. And you don't often see that in a T10 tournament. They need 24 deliveries. And the 22 runs is required. We're going to see spin for the first time. All the seamers were roughly treated.
I thought Fletcher took a little too long to mix things up and to show the batters something different.
We have seen through this tournament, Justin, that it's only when the slow bowler comes on, there's either a check in the scoring rate or you're probably going to see wickets falling. But the captain, Fletcher, now take out the mantle. Short ball swung for 6 over mid-wicket. Another carriacou hit, short delivery, and given the right treatment there by Darren Ned, who climbed into it and really hit it over mid-wicket for 6.
Now still a possibility that it could end in this over, you know. The way things have gone, it can't finish in this over.
That's a big 6. But this is not a small ground, especially the square side of this field. It's a really big field. And we see a defensive shot we hardly see in this T10 tournament.
Anticlimax.
That's the confidence. That's the confidence of the Clove Challenge in terms of where they are. They're 95 for 2 into the 6th over. Andrew Fletcher, the captain. Ball is hit to cover. You can see a sort of resentment from the captain. That suggests it's all over. Short delivery and had reverse hit down to that fielder who would be point on the boundary. Interesting shot played there by Darren Ned.
Of course, we know that
Probably if he would have played in normal way, probably that deal could have been another short delivery, and Samuel Charles looking to clip it, make no contact. I was making the point if normal batting position was short enough to hit again over mid-wicket.
this shot has to be premeditated, and one could have seen that he probably premeditated that. So the end of the first real over that hasn't gone beyond 10 or close to 15 or 14 by Andrew Fletcher. So maybe a sign that probably could have done something about mixing the pace up a long time ago.
Yeah, I would have, from the first over Thomas Bowl, I would not have bring him back for the second over. He got 23 in the first over and ended with 39 in 2 overs. So it means he went for 16 in the second over. And I think from that position, they was playing the catch-up game. It was really difficult to pull back from there. But this game of cricket is one of glorious uncertainties. Looking at all angles, it seems as though Clove Challengers is way on the way for what can be required an easy victory. But we are now seeing spin from both ends. And McDonald bowling his first delivery into the 7th over. Net on 33 from 12. Yeah. Again, looking to swing this one. It comes off. Let's see. Probably look as though it comes off the pad. Probably get some bat on it.
And the luxury the Nutmeg Warriors had in the sense that one of these bowlers, if they didn't start well, they didn't necessarily have to bowl 2 overs. The fact that the game has been reduced to 9.
Yeah, and that seemed to be the policy of probably most of the captains, in that you have a set pattern in terms of how you bowl. Like your opening bowler should bowl two overs, but as you rightly said, it's not necessarily the case. Hit down to mid wicket, the fielder coming around, not being able to get hold of it. Let's see, we'll look for the signal. Yes, in another carriacou hit, and ball pitched up and clipped by Ned. Really didn't seem as though he was able to time it as one expect, but he had enough to clear the mid-wicket boundary for another maximum. So he races a 40 from 14 deliveries, 104 for 2. We're still in the 7th over.
2 deliveries left, 9 to go.
And this one is hit straight, and that goes for another carriacou hit. Picking up on the volley, Ned racing to 46, 110. That has been really a tremendous batting performance reply by the Clove Challengers. Hit again, and this one would clear long on, and what a tremendous finish with a carriacou hit. Ned completing his 50, and Clove Challengers coming really strong in terms of winning this encounter, which we felt as 110, was a bit of a challenge, and we expected something close. But the display of batting that we would have seen really would have said something different.
Yes, indeed, and he said a lot different in terms of the approach, and probably just not some of the strategies we've seen by the, as I said, by the Nutmeg Warriors. It could have been more innovative, but it was not to be. However, a good victory for the Clove Challengers. I know, Raphael, you said on a number of occasions that you think that they're an outfit that can go deep, very deep into that competition, or even so, probably go on to win the tournament.
So Hassan Jackson called John Charles bowled Josh Thomas 21, Samuel Charles not out 20, Roland Keto caught Daniel bowled Charles for no score, and Darren Ned 52 from 16 deliveries. He had 7 sixes and 1 4, and really Clove Challengers run away with that victory, winning very easily in 7 overs. Thomas 2 overs, 1 for 39, Belfont 1 over, and 14 runs. Charles 1 over, he picked up 1 for 15. Toussaint 1 over for 20. Fletcher 1 over for 7. Daniel McDonald in his 1 over, he went for 19. First wicket falling at 40, second at 54. Really has been a dominant performance by Nutmeg Warriors. And as you said, Justin, it probably strengthened, what I would have said in terms of the makeup of the teams. I do believe that this team is well balanced. there are some good players, particularly the top half. And I think that is a team, in my view, that's hard to beat. The Keto, the Ned, the Jackson, the people like Hazard, Court Murray. These are good players. So if one fails at the top, you can expect that somebody else can pick up the attack. We have just seen today the captain Keto failed. But here it is, Darren Ned played a tremendous in. And we have seen Ned in the last 2 games just beginning to come into his own. And that really speaks good for Clove Challengers. And I really believe that that's a team that will be hard to beat.
Indeed, they will be hard to beat, as they have shown. And as we get into the middle to latter part of the tournament, we're probably now beginning to see, teams finding the right formula and being able to execute probably in the manner in which they really want to. Of course, players are beginning to see each other and probably finding ways and means of working out each other a bit more.
What is important is it just seems as though the batting is beginning to come on. We saw Fletcher today in the inning that he played. He got 60. And the batting just seemed to be coming on, which is so important. And just looking at yesterday's game, and you see the way that Clove Challengers are played, it tells you that even though the top does not fire, but just coming down to the middle, you bet that someone is going to fire. And again, one really has to commend the way that they would have played today. I do believe, as I said before, 110 was a good score in 9 overs. Many teams struggle to even get 110 in the 10 overs.
Yeah.
And one thought that really there would have been some challenge, but really, I think Clove Challengers turned it on. And as you were speaking, the first overs, the first over was critical. 23 in the first over, 14 in the second over. And really, they didn't look back as they continued to pile the pressure on Nutmeg Warriors.
Yeah, after the first 2 overs, it was all she wrote. And there was no turning back after that.
So we have just had the completion of match number 2, match number 14 in this Spiceisle T10 tournament. And we are beginning to see really the batting taking charge of what is happening in this tournament. Really makes good for exciting cricket. As we know, in this shorter version of the game, I think the excitement is a batting. It's to see 4s and 6s being hit. And we have seen quite a bit of that today. So we just waiting the presentation after this encounter. Just seen Andrew Fletcher. Probably will be very disappointed. Just coming out to join the presentation party. The conditions still on a gloomy side, but we are happy that there have been no rain. So we're able to have this game completed, 9 overs aside. We still have 1 more game, and that would be between Safan Strikers and Bailey Blasters. It should be the final game.
And really,
so it therefore means,
as I was saying, it really, the conditions really has been ideal today despite we had a slight drizzle for a short time, but it has made for almost perfect conditions for the players to enjoy. We at one point we could have seen the advertising banners fluttering. It means that there was some breeze, and they were pretty comfortable out there. And we must give also credit to the pitch. it has been we've had what 14? How many games now? 14 games.
Yeah, just about 14.
About 14 games, and we haven't hardly seen a change in terms of the manner in which the pitch responds. It means that the preparation and everything that goes into it has been perfect, and I think the players have really enjoyed it. It's conditions, it's a wicket they can trust. You notice they can play freely and everything else. So I think that too, we must give credit and we must commend the groundsmen for ensuring that that pitch that they prepare is one which really guarantees and makes for very good performances.
Yeah, all credit goes to the ground staff led by Theo, as he's popularly known. I think they would have worked well. What we would have seen earlier in the year in terms of games played up here, there had been some issues with the water running off the wicket. There was issues with the run-up. I must say that, we had some tremendous challenges, but we have been able to sort it out. They have been able to get adequate covers. And we would have seen that despite the rain.
So we go down to Rondell, who should be ready for us with the presentations.
Okay, so we are here for the post-match presentation. For this match, we have with us Andre Fletcher. Andre, things not really going your way, not with the ball, really not what you were looking for.
Yeah, that's one of the days when you go there to try your best to execute, and it didn't work out. Out of 5 games, winning 3, I'm quite satisfied. We're in a good position, so it's just for us to bounce back well and try to finish off the next 3 games with a win, maybe 2 out of 3, and that will put us in a very good position.
All right, well, I think you've taken all the questions that I would have asked you. You know your position, so good luck to you as you continue to vie for that spot again.
Thank you very much.
All right, so I'm going to be speaking with Roland Keto, the captain of the Clove Challengers. Roland, you have been really in some good form, good momentum for your team. Tell us about that victory today.
I think that victory today was very important for us because, we are Nutmeg on top of the table. After winning the toss and sending them to bat, they scored 110. I thought it was a good score, but the wicket was good, and you see the way the guys came out and play. We can't ask for anything better.
All right, so really a good effort from you. I think more or less you have cemented your place at the top, and now the others are gunning for a position. What do you need to do from here on in?
We just had to stick to the process. Cricket is a simple game. Who do the basics best? Most of the times come out on top. So it's all about just being confident, playing smart cricket, and just try to keep the momentum with us. Back players to do the job.
All right, well, there you heard it. Thank you very much, Roland. And there you had it from Roland Keto. We're going straight into the prizes now, and I want to invite to come and to present the prizes for us the Secretary of the Grenada Cricket Association, Shiris Noel. And she's going to be presenting the Impact Bowler, and that is none other than Cut Murray. And we want to also cut a very good spell under pressure. You have the Nutmeg Warriors. What was your mindset going through that couple overs?
Well, the captain had a plan, just to bowl full and wide to the lefty, and then just bowl back into the wicket to the right hander, and then it just worked for me.
All right, so you all are at the top of the table. How does it feel?
It feels good, man, because all the players are motivated now. We just had to just keep pushing, and then we'll win the tournament for sure.
All right, so there you had it. The prediction is that the Clove Challengers will win. Thank you very much, Kurt, and good luck through the rest of the tournament.
Thank you so much.
All right, so we still want to present. We want to present the man of the match and the power hitter, and that goes to one player, and so we'll speak to him at the end. All right, so that was your man of the match and the carriacou hitter. I seem to be seeing Darren very regular at the prize given. Darren, things seem to be coming together really nicely.
Yeah, been coming good for the past few games. I'm really enjoying it for the moment.
All right, so you are at the top of the table. What can we look forward to from here?
Just continue doing well, keeping the momentum high as we are, and just keep continue playing some good cricket.
All right. So the prediction is that you are going to take this tournament this year. What say you?
Yeah, most definitely. I think it will.
All right. So there you had it. Another confirmation. Clove is really out here. They want to win. We are getting ready for match number 3. The conditions, it's a bit overcast, but we are going to get a start. And so we stay tuned. We'll be back with you shortly for the start of the evening game right here at the Lassages playing field. Dream 11 Spiceisle T10.